If you're familiar with Abogados Now, you know that we've helped over 400 attorneys nationwide sign thousands of more cases. Today, we're taking a little bit of a departure in our programming to talk about how we can now actually help you handle those cases. So joining me today is Head of Operations, Andrea Ferrer, and Head of Virtual Assistants, Xionary Guerrero. So thanks for coming today, guys.
Hi.
Awesome. So
hi, everyone.
So let's talk a little bit about what we have brewing for Abogados Now. We've heard of, over the years, we've always been asked, Hugo, you've gotten us more cases, you've gotten us more phone calls, we need more manpower. And it's something that we've occasionally helped out the right firm with. It's virtual assistants. Probably anywhere close to 20 or 30 over the last couple years, on and off, for the average law firm that needed, a paralegal or a legal case manager or an intake manager or a virtual receptionist. And it just happened so often that we knew that we needed to listen to our members and the market overall. So today we are really happy to announce the official launch of LegalStaffNow.com. LegalStaffNow.com is a property of Abogados Now. In fact, let's pull up the screen on the homepage. I think we have it right here queued up. So as you can see here, Legal Staff Now is powered by Abogados Now. This is a new entity for a service that theoretically we've already been providing for the last couple years, but now we're going face first in this as an additional offering. So Andrea, you're kind of front seat with our accounts, our clients, our members. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how we got to this point?
Yes, so I've been in account management for Abogados now over 3 years, and there is one particular email that I get that is my favorite email in the world. Andrea, pause my campaigns. And I'm like, oh no, why? You give me so much volume, we don't have people to answer these calls. You gave me so many leads, there is no one to follow up. This is my favorite email in the whole wide world. And it happened often. So clients were like, we don't have people answering the phone, we don't have people following up, and we don't have time to hire. And we, as Hugo mentioned, were able to help one or another, but not all of them. This has radically changed the game. In less than 2 days, we can get your virtual assistant, and suddenly your leads are money. So that's the main reason.
Great. So Xionary Guerrero, she is the head of virtual assistants. She's responsible for getting hundreds of candidates at a time to present qualified candidates in front of law firms and even solo attorneys who need assistance or bandwidth as they're in their growth journey. So Xionary, what kind of roles are we hiring for right now? What's in demand? It's not so much that we're hiring for, it's what are attorneys asking for right now in terms of talent?
Well, there are 3 main roles that every attorney is asking for. These are very popular. And I will say it's the intake specialist, the legal virtual assistant, that it's a mix between an intake and a paralegal in certain way. And also the paralegal part. A lot of people are looking for help in the drafting of documents and handling this part that it's taking a lot of time from them.
That's great. So let's recap those roles. We have a paralegal. What are the other ones?
Legal assistant and intake specialist.
Intake specialist. So someone to answer your calls, someone to do the work, right? That's really what this comes down to. So ultimately, wherever you are with Abogados Now, whether or not you're associated with us, you're more than welcome to join our marketing programs or just jump face first into Legal Staff Now. Again, we're just trying to address demand. It became a little difficult to keep churning away, enough business who unfortunately at the time we couldn't help, but now we can help them. We have a tried and true process to hire, to vet out, to qualify, etc. So why don't we take it from someone going to the website, raising their hand and saying, I need, let's call it a virtual legal assistant. So They'll talk to what ends up happening is that an attorney will talk to our sales team for literally about 10 minutes. It's just an information gathering call to figure out what is the baseline criteria you need. For all of our candidates, it is a minimum. They must have law firm experience. They have to have some or completed college education, and they have to have advanced, professional level of English, writing and speaking. So no one makes the cut to an interview before, unless they've been screened for that 3 criterion. So when they meet with our sales team, we'll understand what goals you're trying to achieve. Are you looking for a part-time role, a full-time role? What is the work that you're trying to get done right now? And in how much time can someone meet their batch of candidates, Xionary?
It's pretty quick. I think one of the most important part of the process is the time frame. If you meet the sales team today, you can schedule with me tomorrow or the day after. You meet the candidates and you can make a decision right away. Another thing that people ask is, when do I start with the VA? You can start 48 hours after you said yes and signed the contract. That was we are aiming for. We are aiming to give an quick answer so you don't waste time.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So you don't pay us a dime until you've hired someone. That's the other big thing here. So another question I hear often is, what experience do these candidates have and where are they from? So Xionary, can you speak to that, please?
Yes, of course. All of our candidates are located in Latin America, any part of Latin America. All of our candidates are used to work remotely in the United States. As a demand of our recruiting part, we check that they have experience in the United States, in law firms. Most of them have the experience in the practice areas that the attorney is requesting for. So that's very important for us.
Yeah, and I think that expresses like how high of a bar we create to get people in front of attorneys. So attorneys, when you meet our candidates, they've been screened highly for English proficiency, that experience, time zones. Andrea, can you speak to time zones?
Yes, that's one of the concerns that I hear the most. They're like, okay, this person is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. When are they going to work? At what time? And the answer is in your schedule. They work in your time zone. So if you're in the East Coast, if you're in the West Coast, if you're Central Time, the VA will work in those times. So it's not a worry.
On our website, let's pull it up again. And I think Andrea has the keys to the website right now. Mm-hmm. We're making this really bold claim that you can hire your bilingual staff in as little as 3 days. Like, that's how serious we are. We already have a line of candidates, of legal professionals, ready to be hired. So the moment you interact with us and let us know what roles you're looking for, we're going to sign you up with interviews within, a very short period of time, as Xionary said, to the extent that you can hire them in as little as 3 days. Now, why don't we go, one of the questions we get asked all the time is about pricing. So Andrea, why don't you walk us through like what our roles and fees are for these hires?
Of course. So we want to make this as transparent as possible. This is why all the pricing is on the website right now. We have 4 different possibilities that you can choose. And they're divided between the role and the time. So the first one is a paralegal or a legal assistant. This is our most custom one, or like highest quality one, because this is paralegals. This is people with the experience to draft legal documents. And the price is $2,400 per month. That is 160 hours of work per month and $15 an hour. You don't pay anything else. That's it. That includes the VA, that includes us, that includes any software that we need to provide. That is the price. If you want the same paralegal, but you want them part-time, you can also do it at 80 hours per month, and that will be $1,440. So this is like high legal support. They can do discovery, drafting, calendars, like everything. And it's a more flexible schedule than doing full-time. And then you have other roles. So for example, administrative assistants, billing coordinators, intake specialists, marketing assistants, anything that you might need that is not a paralegal, you can have full-time for $1,920 per month, or 160 hours at 12 every hour. you have the same option of this specific kind of professional, but part-time at $1,200 per month, 80 hours, 15 per hour. So as you can tell, it's just very, very easy to build into your budget, and it's very straightforward.
And why don't we go to the VA roles? And while you're opening that page on the very top, let's click legal intake specialist. We've got so many roles, but you can see the range. We're in the low thousands to, let's call it the mid 2000s. So let's just scroll through the roles. We've got the legal intake specialist. We've got a social media manager. That's in replacement of, let's call it marketing services, managed services. This is someone that's working with you on your strategy directly. Let's move on to the next role. We've got a case manager, as you mentioned. Virtual bookkeeping is going to increase in demand. We've already gotten a few roles booked for that. So you need to manage your finances, you need to manage your expenses, you need to know what cash flow looks like on a general basis. That's, again, this is really popular with those just starting their own firms. Billing and collection specialists. This is increasingly becoming popular because you need to chase down invoices. You need to chase down outstanding payments. The virtual paralegal, as we mentioned earlier, probably the most in-demand role that we're hiring for right now. The law clerk, another extremely in-demand role right now.
That's it.
And as you can see, we have a variety of roles that are ready to go right now. So ultimately, what we're trying to express here is that if you're looking to sign more cases, we can certainly help you out. That's what we do at Abogados Now. But we're really proud of this additional service that we're providing to attorneys that has really caught on very quickly, to the extent that it's becoming a very important piece of our organization. We're now recommending virtual assistants to almost all of our members, especially those who have capacity issues or some kind of bandwidth issues, or they have some aggressive scaling goals. But also, this is for the true solo that really just wants to beef up their talent pool, the folks that they're working with every day. And this is one thing that I think makes us super, super distinct. And we don't talk about it enough. We should add it to our website eventually. But Xionary, one of the feedbacks that I've heard from other virtual staffing companies is attorneys saying, well, I just pay you to find the talent and that's kind of it, right? And that's fair feedback. I think if you're just paying a recurring fee to a company just to have that person placed, I don't know that that's worthy investment. One of the things that Xionary developed is ongoing education for everyone we place. So for everyone we place in your firm, in all the firms we're working with nationwide, we're doing continuing education, internal workshops to make your staff smarter, better, stronger. So Xionary, can you give us an example of like the workshops you do and how frequently you're hosting them?
Yes, of course. Well, these are monthly trainings. We focus every month, instead of just having a meeting just to see each other's face, we focus that time on learning more. And we just finished a 3-round of sessions that were based on AI. The idea was to help the workflow of RVAs using AI to make it faster, better. They can verify, they can make sure all the wording is correct. They can automate emails so everything goes faster. So we have all the VAs up to date into the trends. And I think that's very important, and they appreciate it a lot. So as I always say in the onboarding process, this is not a recruiting program. We are a staffing company, and we do everything from recruiting to the trainings to follow-ups. And yeah, that's what I love the most about the department.
Yeah, so when you're investing in legal staff now, you're not just investing in the placement, you're investing in the continued improvement and professional development of your staff. And yes, there is the monthly check-in, but Xionary and the account managers are meeting with our virtual assistants fairly regularly, one-on-ones, small groups, and it's to introduce, like Xionary said, AI, other software, shortcuts to make them faster, leaner, stronger. You want to make sure that whoever you bring in has a high amount of leverage, someone that with what we consider a very competitive rate in the marketplace can give you a really large return in terms of how much you save on your time, on billable time, especially if that's your model, etc. So we just want to make it super clear that placement is just one part of our relationship. And as you look for virtual assistants, it isn't just about placements. It's about what you do with that placement beyond your own capabilities. Your staffing company, your recruiting company, your virtual assistant company needs to be constantly giving your team more leverage, more education, more tools, and more insights on how to make their job easier, and ultimately allow them to do more work for you. So we've been doing this for several months now. We've kind of been in stealth mode, releasing Legal Staff Now for a few months. Andrea, what's been the feedback so far?
It's been really good. There is one thing that people ask you at first is, what happens if the VA is sick? This is something that concerns people a lot, and it's nothing to worry about because we have a system of what's the word in English for this? Like substitute VAs. So yes, coverage. So if your VA is sick, it happens to everyone, we'll have someone replace them right away. So far, the feedback has been they are very responsive. We are on top of them. So every day we get your report of what's been happening, what's going on, what are they doing for you? And they are becoming integral parts of their firms. I have 3 different clients who just asked me for a second VA because the first one is just now essential to them. So it's very good. We are very excited about this.
Yeah, well, what are the questions that you get most asked, Xionary, like in the interviews? Like when sales, speaks to the attorney, and then they set up an interview with you, like literally the same day, or if not the next day. What are the attorneys asking you more often than not?
Well, the number one is, how do I communicate with the VA every day? Some people, because it's the first time that they are working remotely, they are afraid on how are they going to have that continuity in communication. Yeah. But that's my part as well. Once I do the welcoming meeting, I provide some strategies to be able to maintain the communication. One of them is that we provide a software for the phone calls. These phone calls have unlimited phone calls in the United States and SMS, so they can use that to communicate. Additionally, we have a daily report in which the VA has to say everything that was done during the day, and of course, any question that he or she has. And we also encourage to use a project management software. We provide the VA a project management software, and we can include the company or the law firm. So when they have a difficulty in this aspect, I always ask them to call me, and I usually send strategies, but we always have. And when they want group chat, we can recommend apps such as WhatsApp, Telegram. Right now, even with our system, we are trying to work in having WhatsApp as part of it. So we are always working on that.
That's great. Yeah, so we're going to add a bunch of additional resources, including more frequently asked questions on legalstaffnow.com. Again, we're seeing ranges of salaries from in the low thousands to the mid 2000s. We do expect certain roles that are a little more niche, a little more refined, to cost more just because of the resources taken to place them. For example, someone wanted a paralegal that had a deep amount of experience in education law. That's a very, very niche ask. So we had to custom price such a thing. In the event we were able to place them, but overwhelmingly you're looking at $1,200 to $2,400, maybe up to $3,000 on the very high end, $3,000 to $4,000 a month for a very niche or very specifically placed virtual assistant. Placed in your law firm in literally as little as 3 days, if not less. So we thank you for joining us on what is unusually a self-promotional episode. We typically don't do these because our goal is to add value to your law firm, to your own professional development. But we thought it would be appropriate to give this brief introduction on Legal Staff Now, because we see it becoming an integral part of not just the legal community at large, but also our initial core marketing service. It's not just about helping you sign more cases. It's, as I mentioned earlier, it's about helping you handle them at scale. So thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea, for hopping on. Thank you, Xionary, for hopping on and really leading the charge on Legal Staff Now. And to everyone who produced this other episode, JC and the rest of our team, thank you very much. Until next time, bye-bye.